I don't exactly know what I'm going to say, but I know that what I'm trying to get across is when you finally realize that everything is one mind, and you erase the idea that, let's say, just close your eyes real quick, wherever you're sitting. Picture yourself sitting in front of a tree, a really big tree, and you're sitting down in front of the tree, you're leaning with your back against it. You could be receiving your, let's say, your communication. You're an antenna receiving the mind, the unified mind. You're an antenna sitting in front of that tree. And you, the human being, are receiving the consciousness. You get to feel it in your arms, your legs, your body, your feelings, your actual human body. Well, let's say that if you could put your internal sensations into that tree and just be the tree, sitting there doing what a tree does, feeling what a tree feels, that could be the, let's say, the antenna of consciousness that you have, but it isn't. I mean, at the same time, you can tap into it, because once you realize that everything is a unified mind, you are everything and you can be everything. The greatest thing is once you unlock your mind, you realize that you can do, experience, feel, sensate anything. But then when you open your eyes, your human body is the satellite or the receiver that you get to interact with the world through. And when you unlock your mind, it makes you really, really, really cherish the human body that you have. With the eyes open, it's the most beautiful, most meaningful experience, even though it could be nothing. That's why it's like nothing means everything, but everything is nothing. Because you realize that you're the unified mind, and it's all just where you're receiving it from. And even when you die, you'll receive it from everywhere. It's hard to explain. It's so different and so odd. You go back to a piece of it all, but you feel it. It's not an energy sensation you lose. It's just because you're not in a human body to interpret it in the mind that you do. And when you touch that feeling, you can ride it around to anywhere you want to go and then come back to the human body you're in to sensate from. It's the craziest, amazing thing. Like, I just wish that I could make more sense of it for people, because they'd love who they are more. They'd love each other more. They'd understand that there's no big deal about their jobs, their bills, all that kind of stuff. Then if you agree with me and you say, I know that, but then tomorrow when my bill comes and the government says I got to pay this or I'm out of my house, like, it's really not a big deal. Do what you want to make yourself happy, and next thing you know, you'll have the money to pay those bills. Maybe at first you might lose that house. You'll have to stay with a friend, but it would be nice if you had family members and friends that would help you like that, because they understand that in order for us all to change, we all have to go through some kind of major change. You don't just change without change. You can change involuntarily, or you can change voluntarily, and I'd rather change voluntarily than have it happen to me. I'd rather have it do it to myself, and I'd prefer to be able to make up the steps that I take, and that's what I'm doing. That's what everyone does once they become conscious. You plan your own steps for yourself instead of just letting it happen and being like, oh, I don't even know. I'm just stumbling along like a doofus. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Just once you come in contact or in touch with yourself, and you realize that everything is the unified mind, you really, really worship being a human, being alive, understanding that you're here. I guess if there was a fox who realized that he was a fox and that he's the transmission through that fox body, I'm sure he'd be the happiest fox alive and be so happy that he's a fox experiencing what he's experiencing. And that's what the thing is. All animals are just like that. They know that they're that experiencing that. We start thinking that we need to be something else, and we lose the fact that we're this experiencing this. It's pretty awesome.